Hey everybody, what is going on? Rick here, as you saw in the photo, with a gigantic bin full of pickups from the month of April. I mean, literally, that Rubbermaid container was filled, the thumbnail of the video, with all the pickups. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 unboxings. A stack of stuff from Jake's, stuff from Goodwill, a title from Target, stuff from a book sale, and then some stuff from Facebook that is really cool. So we're going to dive right in. I'll do a few of the unboxings. I'll do some of the pickups. I'll kind of move stuff around. Pretty much all movies and music except for this first package. Oh, I'm throwing packages on the floor. Except for this first package, which comes from Bert Kreischer, my favorite stand-up comic. I believe I've talked about him before on the channel. I've seen him live a few times. Just my favorite comic. I love watching his Netflix specials. He has podcasts he does with Tom Segura. He has his own podcast, The Bertcast. As you guys might know, I collect autographed books, and I'm sure you can piece what I'm going to show you together. But enclosed is a copy of Bert Kreischer's book, Life of the Party. If you weren't aware, Bert Kreischer was actually who they based the movie Van Wilder on. He went to college at Florida State University for more than 4 years, and he signed it Bert the Machine, which is probably the most popular Bert Kreischer story there is. I actually own this book in hardcover, but when I saw they had an autographed copy, I, of course, needed to add this to my autographed book collection, as he is my favorite stand-up comic. I was a bit disappointed to see it was paperback, but like I said, still cool to add into the collection. So Bert Kreischer, Life of the Party, signed. That is awesome. By the way, the last thing I'm going to show is I bought a ton of stuff from Hamilton Book. That's on the floor next to me. Hopefully I remember that. Next up, this came all the way from Italy, as it says Fragile. But seriously, got it on eBay, paid $7 for it. Trying to remember what it is. Okay. This is an Apple original film that I wanted to check out. And for $7, brand new, I decided to just splurge, even though I recently have signed up for 4 free months of Apple Plus that I could have watched the movie for free. But it is On the Rocks, starring Bill Murray and Rashida Jones. Like I said, brand new, factory sealed there, for $7. It doesn't come with a digital copy. It's literally just the Blu-ray. So that is a cool addition, a good price. Let's do one more here. And this is from... Where's this from? This is from Disney Movie Insiders. Does it say how many points I paid? I think this was only like 500 or 600 points. It seemed really cheap, and it was an upgrade for me. I own the movie on Blu-ray, but figured why not upgrade it to 4K? And it came with a slipcover, which is awesome, and that is Spies in Disguise, Will Smith, Tom Holland, a blue sky animation movie. This was a fun watch. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Like I said, why not upgrade it to 4K from Blu-ray? It was only 500 or 600 points. I've since sold my Blu-ray. So Spies in Disguise, added that in the collection. Next, I'll show you guys the stuff I grabbed at Jake's Flea Market. 5 DVDs here. The first title, this caught my eye just because I wasn't familiar with the artwork. And when I read about the movie, it seemed even more interesting to me. And it's a film called Mean Creek. So Mean Creek stars Rory Culkin, Josh Peck are the 2 big names. But it's basically a coming-of-age movie that's R-rated from 2004. Just sounds like it'll be a really, really interesting watch. The artwork looks to have... I can't tell if that's mold or just the design of the case. I can't tell. But at least worth a one-time watch. This was $1, so I figured why not grab that to check out. Next up, I believe this is $1 or $2, but it is Live from Bonnaroo 2009. The main reasons I grabbed this were because the Beastie Boys, Coheed and Cambria were on this. Also Bruce Springsteen, Cage the Elephant, Ben Harper, Elvis Costello and Jenny Lewis, Snoop Dogg, Zac Brown Band, Fish are all on this, but Beastie Boys and Coheed were the main reason I wanted to grab this. Like I said, I think it was $1. If I didn't remember correctly, it has some scratches, but I figured it would be a one-time watch, and then unless there's an amazing performance on it, it would probably leave the collection, but definitely worth a one-time watch for me. This, I believe, was $2. It has the old Big Lots sticker on it. Another movie I found out recently about, it has a Shout Select release, but I figured I'd watch it on DVD first, and if I really like it, I can upgrade it, and that is Masked and Anonymous. This stars John Goodman, Jeff Bridges, Penelope Cruz, Bob Dylan, Jessica Lange, and Luke Wilson. Directed by Larry Charles. So, don't know much about this, but it has a really good cast. Caught my eye when I saw the Blu-ray of it, but I didn't want to spend, I think it was like $20 or $25. I was like, let me try to find this out hunting, either on DVD or Blu-ray, to check it out. That's what I did. I found it brand new, factory sealed, on DVD for $2. So I grabbed that to eventually check out. Also grabbed this one because I really enjoyed the film, why can't I think of it? Climax. I believe this is the same filmmaker, Gaspar Noé. I believe is the same person who made Climax. And this is called Irreversible, starring Monica Bellucci, Vincent Cassel, and Albert Dupontel. There's a warning on the front that says contains graphic sex and violence for mature audiences only. The movie's also unrated. If you have seen Climax, you know that movie's crazy. From what I've heard, this is pretty much his style, is crazy films. So I figured why not add this to the collection and see what this crazy film brings, or at least for a one-time watch. And then as an Eagles fan, I had to get this. I don't remember what I paid for this. I want to say it was $2 or $3. Brand new, factory sealed. It is the complete history of the Philadelphia Eagles. I did not yet own this, so of course, as an Eagles fan, why wouldn't I get the complete history of the team, even though it's from 18 years ago, so it doesn't have their Super Bowl win. Still something I want to add to the collection. So the complete history of the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's that stuff. Then I got some CDs and a 4K from the local Goodwill. I'll take my Goodwill note off of here. So I grabbed the Dave Matthews Band, Remember Two Things, which I believe was the earliest album. This is from 1993. I did not own this. I had Under the Table and Dreaming, but I never owned this album here, so I grabbed that. This is cool. This is the When Incubus Attacks EP, which has Pardon Me, Make Yourself and Stellar, Acoustic, Crowded Elevator, and then Favorite Things and Pardon Me Live. So all Incubus stuff that I enjoy. And this was earlier Incubus, which is my favorite Incubus. This is from 2000. So I was a big fan of early Incubus. I kind of grew out of them in the later 2000s. I'm also a big fan of the band Glassjaw, and the lead singer Daryl Palumbo had a side project, Head Automatica. I only thought they had one album, and then I saw this, and it is an album called Propaganda. Did not realize they put out a second album. I want to say the first album is called Decadence. So when I saw this, I was like, well, I'm grabbing that. Like, I love the first Head Automatica album. And when I saw there was a second one, I grabbed that to add to the collection. And then last but not least, this is also a pretty cool find. It is the Bob's Burgers music album. This being the first one. They've put out another one since. This comes with, I believe it's 2 CDs. Let's see here. That's a CD. That's a book. That's a CD. Yeah, 2 CDs and a booklet. I thought it came with cards. Maybe I'm making that up in my brain. Hold on. I might be making that up. Nope. It came with a pack of Bob's Burgers trading cards, still sealed, and the book. So, I'm a casual fan of Bob's Burgers. We recently saw the movie. I've watched the newer seasons with my girlfriend. This has 107 tracks because pretty much every episode includes a song at the end of the show, like over the credits, and a song is usually included in the episode. It also has the theme song to the show. So grab this. I think it was $2.99. I think I paid $2.99 for all these CDs. I hate Goodwill's new pricing, but that's a complaint for another day. And then the last thing I grabbed was also $2.99. It was an upgrade for me as I have the Blu-ray, even though if I remember correctly, this has one of the worst 4K transfers ever, if I remember that correctly. And it is Suicide Squad. I just got this, honestly, to upgrade my Blu-ray because it is a movie I own. And figured why not upgrade it to 4K. It has the theatrical version on 4K and then the extended cut on Blu-ray. So I've only seen the theatrical. I've never watched the extended cut. So I upgraded to 4K. Target, I grabbed this because it's something I've been wanting to watch, although it still is sealed because I haven't sat and watched it. And that is a movie called National Champions, which stars J.K. Simmons, Alexander Ludwig, Lil Rel, Kristen Chenoweth, Uza Aduba, and Stephen James. Basically about college football, and the players decide to strike because the player athletes aren't fairly compensated with like 3 days left before the college championship. So it also has Timothy Olyphant, David Koechner, Andrew Bachelor, Jeffrey Donovan. So this looked really good when I saw the trailers for it, and I've been wanting to check it out. So I grabbed that. National Champions. It's still brand new sealed because I haven't opened it. So I grabbed that from Target. And then let's dive into some more unboxings. This is from... Who's this from? This is from Deep Discount. I think they were having a... Was it buy one, get one on... It was either buy one, get one or buy one, get one half off. Which makes me wonder. I think it was buy one, get one on Olive Films. And if you spent so much, you got free shipping. So one of the Olive Films I got was back ordered. So this has an Olive Film I bought. Another one will be in a future video because I don't believe it's in this stack. I think it'll be in the May pickups. And then I got another movie which was just released when I placed my order on Blu-ray for the first time. All three titles I'm getting are upgrades, but these two came in April, so that's why they're in this video. The first is a Olive Film release, and that is Dirty Work, starring Norm Macdonald. Right after Norm passed away, this movie, it was being identified as out of print. I don't think it ever went out of print, and I was able to get this, I think, for like $12 or $13. It was going for like $100 for a while, and then Bob Saget died, and he directed the movie. But I was able to get this for a good price, brand new from Deep Discount. Artie Lang, Norm Macdonald, Jack Warden, Don Rickles, Chevy Chase, Christopher McDonald. I've only seen this movie once, so I'm curious to revisit it, but I owned it on DVD. Figure why not upgrade it to Blu-ray. So Dirty Work on Blu-ray, and this, like I said, just came out on Blu-ray. Was a DVD that I owned for quite some time. I actually am going to show this to RJ probably in the near future because he said he wants to see it. And that is Orange County, starring Jack Black and Colin Hanks. It's been quite a long time since I've watched this. The only thing I really remember is that it's a really, really great soundtrack. Catherine O'Hara is also in it. John Lithgow, Lily Tomlin. So yeah, I'm excited to revisit this. It's only 82 minutes. That was the funny thing about both of these. They're both only 82 minutes long, so super, super short PG-13 comedy films, I believe. Yep, they're both PG-13. So, got those from Deep Discount. And next up, I ordered this from Amazon. It was, I want to say this was on sale for $6.99. Crazy cheap, and I had actually went ahead. I made the mistake of buying from Deep Discount. They had... Let me see. I have my Deep Discount invoice here. Where is it? I bought seasons 1 to 3 for $5.95, and I learned that this was a smaller case, and B had all 4 seasons of the show for $6.99. So in return, I put the seasons 1 to 3 on eBay, and I bought this to save space and have the entire show. And that is Inside Amy Schumer, the complete series. Like I said, this was $6.99 on Amazon. A nice thin case. Well, not a thin case, but a lot thinner than... Because seasons 1, 2, and 3 were each individual DVD cases. So, a lot less room and the complete series. And I think I paid, like I said, $6.99. I'm not sure how many discs this is. I would guess 6. But, yep, Inside Amy Schumer. Grab that off of Amazon. What do we got here? I'm trying to think. That's a Best Buy order. So I have 3 Best Buy orders. So what we'll do, first I'm going to show stuff I got from the Chester County book sale. One of my favorite book sales that's fairly in the area that I'm in. And they had 50 cents for all their CDs and DVDs. They had so much stuff. I bought a ton to flip, but also have a stack of like 9 things here to add to the collection. So the first thing is this, just, I've never heard this or heard of this. It is Billie Joe Armstrong and Norah Jones. It's called Foreverly. I mean, Billie Joe Armstrong was the lead singer of Green Day. Norah Jones was a pop folk singer. So this was a curiosity purchase. They seem very opposite from each other. So grab that just out of curiosity. This was a rap album I really enjoyed. I had a burnt copy of this back in the day. Has lots of songs on it I like. And it has Lil Wayne, the Carter 3. It has Mr. Carter, a Millie, Got Money, Lollipop. So lots of guests I like on it, and just I remember liking the album quite a bit. So grab that for 50 cents. And then I don't think I had the unedited version of this CD. I used to, but then got duped by a friend of mine to trade him for my edited copy that my parents made me get from Walmart. And it is 311 Grassroots, which was their second album and probably my favorite 311 CD next to the self-entitled album. So 311, this is from 1994, 311 Grassroots. Like I said, big fan of that album. Then I got some DVDs, and the first one you guys are going to give me crap about, but as you know, I'm into TV guilty pleasures, and for 50 cents, I figured it would be fun to at least watch this uncensored. Probably won't stay in the collection forever. It is Jersey Shore Uncensored, Season 1. Yep, I paid 50 cents for it. I'll probably pop it in at some point and watch an episode or two and see how cringy it is, but curious to see it unedited. This next movie, you're going to ask why I bought it. You have to stay tuned 2 weeks when I drop my video, my pickup video. It'll make sense. So we'll get there, but I'll tease this. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back on DVD. So we'll set that. I'm going to set that to this side, actually. Next up, I'd never seen this movie. Bridget said it was, I think Bridget watched this and said it's worth a watch, based on a Stephen King book, and it is Thinner. I've never seen this, don't know much about it at all, but like I said, Bridget said we should check this one out. She's seen it, and I said, okay, like I said, for 50 cents, why not? Then the next thing I grabbed, I actually heard this is pretty terrible, but I'm curious, so I got it. And it is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, starring Peter Frampton, the Bee Gees, Steve Martin, George Burns, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Billy Preston, Earth, Wind and Fire. I believe it's all covers by the cast, so I'm not sure what to expect. Like I said, I've heard it's pretty terrible, but for 50 cents, figured why not? Next up, this movie caught my eye too because of what it's about. Directed by Gus Van Sant, and that is Gus Van Sant's Last Days. Obviously, that looks like a Kurt Cobain on the cover, and the movie is inspired by the last days of Kurt Cobain. I don't know much more about it, but like I said, Gus Van Sant, Kurt Cobain. I'm checking this one out, so I grabbed that. And probably the coolest find at the book sale, even out of the stuff I got to resell, this was super awesome. And I actually looked right past this. Bridget was the one who found it, and it is The Tom Green Show Early Exposure, and this is actually pre-MTV. It doesn't even have a year on it. But like, I want to say this is from like 1993 or 1994, like before him going national with being on Canada TV in 97 and being on MTV in 99. So I thought that was a super cool find. So the Tom Green Show Early Exposure on DVD. Let's dive into these Facebook finds I grabbed. This was really cool. This was from a guy who had a bunch of newer titles, but also some boutique titles. And these were priced at $5 each. And when you guys see them, you're gonna be like, they were only $5. So I obviously snagged these three for myself. The first one I did not own physically, and I don't know if I've ever seen this movie. I know I've seen the original, and that is Another 48 Hours, this being the Paramount Presents version with the slipcover, the clear case. So that was awesome. Like I said, $5 for that was a great find. Then next up, we have two Scream Factories with slipcovers. The first one is Escape from LA, which I've never seen. What's the original of this? Escape from New York. I still haven't seen that, but now I own both of them. So at some point I will watch these movies. I know this is a John Carpenter film with Kurt Russell. So Escape from LA with the slipcover. And then the one I was most excited for, I enjoy this movie a lot personally for like a corny 2000s horror movie. And that is House of Wax with the slip there. So, yeah, that was a cool addition to the collection. Like I said, for $5 each, had to buy these, had to add these to the collection. So yeah, that just like how awesome was that. And the other stuff, technically they'll probably end up being free because I bought some other titles from the person to resell, and this was a few months ago, so I assume they probably sold or currently listed, or they're sitting in this tower of stuff I have to list. And so next up is 3 different packages from Best Buy. These are boxes. Each of these has one movie. These are the different size boxes I've received. Like, look at these boxes. Like, here's a movie. Here's a DVD. Like, these boxes are ridiculous, but they got to me. The first one here is, of course, the Steelbook to round out my trilogy, and that is Spider-Man No Way Home, the 4K Steelbook. I now own all 3 of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies on 4K Steelbook. I loved No Way Home. It was fantastic. So glad to have that on 4K Steelbook. Next up here, I love this artwork. I own this movie on Blu-ray. I upgraded to 4K Steelbook, and that is The Cabin in the Woods. Fantastic horror movie. Dark humor elements as well. So glad to add this one in the collection. Plus, I love the artwork of the Steelbook. And Lionsgate with the slipcover that has artwork on it and shows a different aspect of the Steelbook underneath. Just A+ to Lionsgate, what they're doing with Steelbooks. And then last but not least, before getting into the Hamilton book order that I placed, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit and wanted to get this on Steelbook, and it is the 2022 Scream 4K Steelbook. So some Steelbooks from Best Buy. All movies I enjoy quite a bit. Cabin in the Woods being a classic modern horror, in my opinion. And then Spider-Man No Way Home and Scream 2022. So we're going to shift all this stuff, because last but not least, guys, we got to get into what is in this big old box from Hamilton Book. And like I said, I have sheets here with what I paid, and this is the order sheet. It is big. It is a big order sheet. So Alright, we're going to go into this. I guess we'll do DVDs first. Okay, we'll do DVDs, then we'll go Blu-ray, or 4K, because there's one, then we'll go Blu-rays. Okay, DVDs. So first thing I grabbed was Steve Martin, the best of the bestest, better, best. Looking back, I always wonder, like, this was $3.95, and I was buying a bunch of stuff, so it has his stand-up special, which was also like a variety show, and then there's I believe a show that had a short film. Anyway, it was all stand-up stuff. It was a Shout Factory title. Looked like it would be interesting stuff to check out, so I grabbed that. That was $3.95. This is a movie that's been on my to-watch list for a while. I believe it's on Blu-ray, but for $3.95 I decided to grab it on DVD because I feel like this is a one-time watch, and I love the lead actress. That's why I wanted to see it, and that is Lady Macbeth, starring Florence Pugh. Imagine Alfred Hitchcock directing Wuthering Heights. Interesting. It's a movie that takes place in the 1860s, which isn't my favorite type of film, but we'll see. Lady Macbeth, $3.95. I mean, this one, how do you not get behind this? I paid $3.95 for this as well. It's a documentary all about poop talk. The big selling point for me for this, honestly, going in thinking, okay, I'll watch this and it'll be a one-time watch, features Rob Corddry, Bobby Lee, Jonah Ray, Kumail Nanjiani, Eric Stonestreet, Adam Carolla, Nikki Glazer, Aisha Taylor, Simon Rex, Pete Holmes, Dr. Drew, the Sklar Brothers, Nick Swartzen, Nicole Byer, Steve Agee, Paul Scheer, Brad Williams, all people I know. There's 2 people on this cover I don't know by name, and when I see a picture of them, I might know it. It's a documentary all about talking about poop. So hopefully it's not too crappy. You guys see what I did there? So next up, this was really intriguing to me. Was not familiar at all with this. Seasons 1 and 2 of a show called A Day in the Life, which, as you can see, Morgan Spurlock did. Man, I wish these were in order. I should have planned this better. A Day in the Life DVD. A Day in the Life DVD. $3.95, 2 seasons. This looks really interesting. Lots of guests, basically spending a day in the life of famous people. Joel McHale's in it, Richard Branson, Russell Peters, who's a comic, will.i.am, Misty Copeland, Questlove. So I was curious about this. I didn't realize it was a Hulu show. I probably could have watched it on streaming, but gotta support that physical media. And like I said, it was only $3.95. This is a DVD I actually own already, but my copy was pretty scratched up, so much so that I don't think it was playing properly. So when I saw this for $3.95 brand new, I decided to get it. A documentary about wrestling called Cards Subject to Change. You guys know I love professional wrestling, and to see this for $3.95 brand new, I figured why not get rid of that copy I got that was all scratched up and messed up. And the last thing here was $5.95, and I bought strictly because of one of these movies, and it actually had good resale value. So if I'm not a fan of the one movie, I'll probably get rid of this. I might get rid of it regardless, even if I do like the movie I wanted to watch off here, because I can get it on Blu-ray. But for $5.95, I figured why not get this. It's a 4-pack film noir thriller featuring The Visitors, Tough Guys Don't Dance, Exposed, and the reason I bought it was a movie called The Hot Spot. So yeah, this was $6. MGM film noir thriller set. Like I said, I bought it for Hot Spot. I read something or heard about the movie and it made me intrigued to check it out. Not familiar with any of the other movies at all. All rated R, it looks like. So film noir thrillers. And then, like I said, grabbed one 4K. This one here, I believe, was $7.95, upgrading to 4K from Blu-ray, and that is Concussion. I figured for $7.95. Once again, I was ordering so much stuff. Why not go ahead and just spring to grab it? So, grab that for $7.95, and I have a big old stack of Blu-rays. Let's see here. The first one, it was a documentary where the description sounded interesting to both Bridget and I. You guys can read the title. It was $1.95. The documentary, the basic about the documentary sounded interesting, and for $2, why not grab it? So I did. Next up, I upgraded my standard version of this to the Digibook for $9.95 and sold the standard version to cover the cost. And that is Rebel Without a Cause. This being the Digibook, brand new. Obviously, like everything from Hamilton Book. Next up, Bridget picked out this one. She went through and let me know what she was interested in. Paid $2.95 for it. I think I've seen this, but I don't remember much about it. Catherine Hahn, Juno Temple, Josh Radnor, and Jane Lynch in Afternoon Delight. According to my letterbox, I've watched it, but like I said, I don't really remember anything about it. Could be probably a bad thing. Next up, I've been wanting to check this out since we revisited the movie. This was $7.95. It's a documentary about showgirls called You Don't Know Me. Know Me, obviously, is Elizabeth Berkley's character, so a documentary all about the behind the scenes of showgirls, so grab that. Next up, this caught my eye. I never heard of this. I believe it was canceled after one season. Goes for really good money, which is why I initially got it, was to flip to kind of recoup some of the costs. But this just seems way too interesting and too cool of a cast not to check it out. It features, what's that guy's name? I want to say it's Richard E. Grant, but also Jason Segel, Eve Lindley, Sally Field, and Andre 3000, Andre Benjamin, in Dispatches from Elsewhere. Have any of you guys ever seen this? It's an AMC show. I believe it was only on for one season. This was $9.95. Initially, like I said, bought it to flip, but I think I'm going to check this out before I resell it. So let me know. This looked like an interesting documentary too. Lots of blind buys here. Don't know why. I'm pretty much out of space. This was $4.95. Is a blind buy, a documentary called Chelsea on the Rocks about what is it called? The Chelsea Hotel? Yeah. The Chelsea Hotel. Ethan Hawke, Dennis Hopper, Bijou Phillips, Giancarlo Esposito, Gabby Hoffman are all involved with this one. So grab that. Bridget picked this movie out. I've never seen this. Bill Nighy, Emily Blunt, Rupert Grint, and Rupert Everett in a movie called Wild Target. I don't know much about this. This was $4.95. Like I said, Bridget picked it out. I would watch it. I like a lot of the people in that movie. Good cast. This was one that I know Bridget wanted to check out, and it looked interesting to me too. A Shop Factory title starring Jenna Malone, Mark Maron, and Johnny Flynn, and that is called Stardust, about David Bowie. This was $14.95. One of the more expensive titles I got. Like I said, brand new factory sealed, but with this slipcover, which is cool. The last handful of stuff. Like I said, bought a ton of stuff from Hamilton Book this time around. Bridget picked this one out. I've seen this movie. I remember liking this movie, but can't remember much about it. This was $4.95. Stars Allison Janney, Richard Jenkins, Elizabeth Olsen, Josh Radnor. Written and directed by Josh Radnor, and that is Liberal Arts. So that was $4.95. Next up, this looked interesting, and this was cheap. That's why I bought it. This was $2.95. Stanley Tucci, Addison Timlin, and Keira Sedgwick in a movie called Submission. It looked interesting for $3. I just went ahead and bought it. I believe the rest, well, we have one more, and then the rest will be boutique titles. Another documentary that was super cheap that Bridget and I both thought looked interesting, and that is A Cam Life for $3.95. So I will pretty much watch a documentary on every every possible thing. And like I said, Bridget and I both thought it looked interesting, so why not? Next up, this is an MVD picture. I've never seen this one. It looks really cool. Where are you? Came with a slipcover. Why can't... This was $4.95, starring John Malkovich, Jim Broadbent, Angelica Houston, others, and that is Art School Confidential. Never have seen it. Like I said, $4.95, came with the slipcover. Grab that one. Next up, a Sidney Poitier movie. Did not yet own. One day I'm going to get around to watching these Sidney Poitier movies I keep buying. This one was $6.95, and it's an Olive Films release of a movie called Pressure Point. It's him and Bobby Darin. So, like I said, I liked To Serve With Love so much. I've just been buying up Sidney Poitier movies as I come across them for good deals. Next up is a Scream Factory release. This one looked like it would be an interesting watch. I read the synopsis to Bridget and she was on board. Plus it features a young Helen Hunt. That is a movie called The Spell. Like I said, this is a Scream Factory. This was $4.95, and I believe this has gone out of print or is about to go out of print, so that could be a good investment buy at the time, because I don't know anymore. I feel like if it's not something I'm going to rewatch, I watch it and then it gets sold. Two more. Next up, this was $14.95, a Shout Select that I bought solely based on the cast and the positive reviews. State and Maine. Alec Baldwin, Clark Gregg, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Patti LuPone, William H. Macy, Sarah Jessica Parker, Julia Stiles, David Paymer. This was $14.95, but figured why not. And then last but not least, treated my girlfriend as she wanted it, but she's like, I don't want you to spend $21.95 on it. And I said, I know you love the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. We had it on DVD. We're going to upgrade it to Blu-ray. And it is the Vinegar Syndrome. That's right. I now own 2 Vinegar Syndrome films. The Vinegar Syndrome Drop Dead Fred. This was $21.95. Not too bad for a Vinegar Syndrome title. And plus, I think $4 or $5 for shipping on everything from Hamilton Book. One of my favorite consistent websites for Blu-rays. So yeah, Drop Dead Fred on Blu-ray. That is it, guys. This has been a 38-minute pickup video. I was going to split it into 2 and figured why not just make it a massive unboxing extravaganza, show you guys the crazy bin that has been sitting here since April that I kept adding to in the month of April. So thank you for sticking with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know you guys love the pickup videos a lot more than review videos. So I'm trying to make the pickup videos a little longer, the review videos a little shorter. Maybe you'll watch it in a few parts. That's fine. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Check out the description down below where you can find links to all my socials, as well as Blu-ray.com profile, my eBay store, Amazon wishlist, email address, P.O. Box, and letterbox where I rate and review all the movies I watch. So that is it, guys. So thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, who's down to movie?